The Dolphins fan base might be the most optimistic. Like every year, it's like, it's our year. We're going to do it this year.
Delusional is what we are. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Tranquilo Sports Talk. We got the legend today, Josh Moser.
I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for being here. Obviously, with football season coming right around the corner, what better person than you to have on the pod
I
right
appreciate
now?
you.
Come on,
Absolutely.
recurring guest, too.
Yes.
Officially
Heck yeah.
recurring guest.
Yes. Last episode, we got to hear your story a little bit,
Yeah.
which was great. But today, we're just going to talk straight ball and get into a little bit of everything. So we're hyped for today. And Dave, kick it off.
Kick it off. I mean, me and Dre, we're getting a little close on this couch over here.
Yeah.
I will kick it off. I actually will kick it off because a lot of the narrative going to this fin season is a lot of people talking about the negatives and the depth of, especially in the DBs. What to you is the biggest bright spot on this team, and what you think, like, if this team does end up being good, what either position group or what's the reason for it?
It begins and starts with Tua. He has to be healthy. You talk about the camp that Tyreek Hill has had. Jaylen Waddle is reportedly in the best shape that he's ever been in as a pro. Those are your key pieces. And then there's talk of possibly adding a third receiver. We'll see if that actually happens before the 53.
Interesting.
But right now, with those two guys, and then if Darren Waller can be the Darren Waller of the past, we know the tight end is really not that much of an important position or focal point in this offense. And you get a healthy Devon Achane, you have three phenomenal weapons. The question is, can you protect Tua with the offensive line that you have? And then is the defense better? And right now, your front seven on defense probably looks like your strongest unit, maybe so far this preseason. But the preseason, it really doesn't tell you a whole lot. But you go back 2 years ago, number one offense in the NFL, you make a lot of changes. And this year, it seems like that if you do not make the playoffs and you do not win a game, which has not happened in 25 years.
Don't remind me.
The Dolphins fan base might be the most optimistic. Like every year, it's like, it's our year. We're going to do it this year.
Delusional is what we are.
However,
Irrational.
the pieces are here, but Tua's got an out in his contract after this year. Same with Tyreek. We'll see what happens. It's the question being thrown around right now is, will Mike McDaniel be the head coach when this team goes to Madrid in September? And honestly, I like the fact that the Dolphins are the underdogs. I think this is something that they needed to embrace, and that's really what training camp is about. That was the message. And, but again, it starts with Tua. If Tua can stay healthy, and we've seen when Tua is on the field playing at his best, this team wins over 500. When Tua's not on the field, and even with Zach Wilson, Quinn Ewers had a couple flashes here in the preseason, there's a huge drop-off. Tua has to stay healthy.
Absolutely. And it's funny that you said, will Mike McDaniel make it to Spain, right? My question was going to be, is this the year, like a make or break year for Mike and Grier, right? I mean, obviously it starts at the top. So you think if the Dolphins are not in a position going into Spain that Mike might not even make it to the end of the season?
I think it depends where the team's at. I mean, if you've won 2 games going into that game, I think you're going to have to make a change. That being said, this is now Mike McDaniel's 4th year. So it's normally first year throwaway, second year you saw all of that improvement. Third year, last year, unexpectedly, there was a huge drop-off. So now it's, what can you actually produce? You know what the Bills are going to be. You arguably should beat the Jets. And then it's a coin toss right now with the Patriots. I would say the Dolphins should be on paper a little bit ahead of the Patriots, but that's an ascending team with Mike Vrabel in his first year. And I mean, these are the outside expectations. But you still have what should be one of the most potent offenses in the NFL, and you have a huge home field advantage. Your schedule is very easy in the beginning of the season. So if you take care of what you need to take care of early, Mike McDaniel should be fine. They always talk about pressure is a privilege, adversity is opportunity.
He's the king of quotes.
The coachisms. But the thing for me with Mike McDaniel is you want to see improvement from him. And so here it was where he might have lost the locker room, was what everyone was saying last year, the ultimate players coach. So you go on this team bonding trip for preseason.
Right.
All right, we're going to take a different route. We need this team to come together so they can be held accountable in those really tough moments. And love that approach.
Yep.
But with Mike McDaniel specifically, we need to see him make better play calls. We need to see him win challenges and do things that he's made mistakes in the past. You've had 3 years now to make sure all of that is fixed, to put your own processes in place. Anthony Weaver's back for a second year. So if you don't have it figured out now, you're the perfect coach for Tua. You've gotten more out of Tua, arguably, than any other coach. Phenomenal choice putting the two together.
Yeah.
But it's interesting they didn't extend Tua. They could have given him a bunch of guaranteed money this year and opened up the salary cap and really gone all in. They did not decide to do that.
Right.
So I think that Tua and Mike McDaniel are the perfect pairing, and I feel that their futures are tied together in Miami.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think if we go back and we repeat this 9-8 season, kind of like fringe in the hunt team that we've been for
my entire life,
for our whole life, right? Is that enough to just say, hey, like we're done with the Grier, we're done with the Mike? Because I get the whole 2-6 at that point, whatever it may be. But if we're just, again, competitive enough, is that enough for Ross to say, let's run it back?
I mean, Stephen Ross has said that he wants to compete for a title, but obviously every owner says that.
Of course.
Yeah.
We know that Stephen Ross is getting up there in age, but I mean, he's really the one that we need to ask this question to. Is how long is the leash? If you look at it from a business standpoint, with what Stephen Ross has done with this team, with F1 and what he's built it with the practice facility,
the whole complex now.
I believe the evaluation's over $8 billion. It's one of the top 10 NFL franchises in the league. So from that perspective, he's already won.
Absolutely.
So it's just a question
from a business lens, you got to applaud the guy.
Right.
Yeah. Absolutely phenomenal job what he's done there.
And I mean, you're the number 1 rated Players Association.
Yeah, across
so
the
you
board.
have so much going for you. But on the field, you've got to figure out, going to have to go win a game in Baltimore in the cold, potentially. Arguably, also from that same division, maybe Cincinnati. We've seen what happens in Buffalo in January.
Yep.
I mean, that's what you're facing. And then can't forget about what happened at Arrowhead. I mean, these teams are real. And can you be healthy? Can your team find that it factor? And a lot of it is closeness. We've seen teams in all sports where you have arguably the best roster on paper, but it just doesn't fit together.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think maybe locally the Panthers are the best example of chemistry. And it's that fit within each other. It transcends talent.
Right.
And that's what I think we need to see with the Dolphins, where this culture this year, that's been the buzzword of the offseason. Like, what is this culture going to be?
Yeah.
So if they can come together, figure this out, and stay healthy, which is a huge wild card, you don't know. But if they're 9-8, I think it's enough. It just depends on how it unfolds. If you're blowing multiple games in the fourth quarter, it's different. So it's going to be a roller coaster. I think that's like the best part about the NFL season for Fins fans. And when a season, goes like this,
go the opposite way.
It's fun. But now when you have these ups and downs and every week that there's hope, I think that's what we're kind of in it for the ride this year. And, as fans, every week, it's a life or death, especially after week 1, fantasy football, everyone's on the waiver wire. This guy had one game, 2 had one bad game, you're ready to sell. But I think we're in for it. But to me, the season would not be a success if you do not make the playoffs. I think it would be a plus if you were to win a playoff game. And I think that based off what we're seeing now, I think that is very well within reach. Is this team Super Bowl bound this year? I think that some pieces may need to be added, or we need to see some really special play from some players that we haven't seen yet. But there's potential. It's just, how does it all come together? And that's why we play the season. So we're excited to watch.
Dude, a playoff win, that's all I asked for. It's so honestly almost embarrassing. I'm just pleading, just give me one playoff win. But a couple of things that you mentioned there, and in terms of obviously building the culture and everything that kind of needs to fall into place. Obviously, one of the things that I feel like we've talked about the past, God knows how many off seasons specifically, has been the O-line, right? And building an O-line, and which kind of plays into that culture of I guess almost toughness, because one of the funniest things is that we just can't get a 1 yard. It's our biggest weakness.
Yeah.
Have you seen? Obviously, we've addressed the O-line in the draft and free agency. But like, do you see any improvement there, or like, can we expect like just a little bit better than last year?
I mean, you lose Teron Armstead, and he was arguably the best left tackle in football when healthy. You knew that he was going to go through, and just a question of how many games that he was going to play. I think he has an outside chance of actually being a Hall of Famer. I think he's that great. Certainly a Hall of Fame person, one of my favorite players to work with.
He's awesome.
And now he's getting in the media. So definitely got to get him on the show.
Oh my God, dude. Yeah, we
got to make that happen.
Get him on. And he's giving some crazy insights from practices because he's there all the time. He went to the joint practice, I think, with the Lions, I think is what it was. And he was ready to roll on the pod, like letting the people know what's going on.
And he knows, but I mean, look, it's what Patrick Paul can be. To me, though, the biggest question mark on the offensive line is Austin Jackson. We know that he's missing a lot of time in the preseason. We knew that he was injured last year. And remember, Tua's left-handed. So that right tackle is protecting Tua's blind side. So he is a piece that if he is not healthy, they're going to have to make a trade because right now we really don't have a backup right tackle that I feel gives Tua enough protection on that side. And we always talk about, Liam Eichenberg. We don't know how long he's going to be out. He's great. It's versatile, but I love Aaron Brewer. I love the signing of Daniels. You have your first five are great. It's the backups that scare me.
It's the depth.
And look, every team has that issue.
100%.
I mean, we talk about this, and when I've talked to a lot of GMs around the league, big guys that can move on both the offensive and defensive line are the hardest players to find. So right now, I'm great with the front five, and then the counter is also with Tua. If you're getting the ball out in 1.5 seconds or as fast, they don't need to be as strong as other teams and how they run their systems. That's the whole idea with this outside zone. However, you get to a game in January where you need to pick up 2 yards and run inside the tackle. That's where we've seen issues.
Absolutely.
So how can you out-deke people? And that's where Mike McDaniel, I think, has to come in. And if a defense counters, I want to see Mike McDaniel counter. He's one of the smartest coaches. It's all been talked about. I want to see that this year.
Exactly.
And he should have enough with the weapons that he has, regardless of the offensive line, with his knowledge and his coaching prowess. I want to see him shine and take a step, and then we'll be saying, "Oh, offensive line's fine. Offensive line looks great."
Cause you got. I mean, Miami. A lot of the play calling has maybe been because of the fact that he might not trust that interior to be able to get that push in short down distance.
100%.
But at the end of the day, if you're this offensive guru and offensive wizard, you got to be able to figure it out at one point, right? Because some of the play calls just looked like these bubble screens. I don't want to see another bubble screen on 3rd and 1. I just don't. I just don't want to see it. We saw it even in the Kansas City game in Germany, remember? And it turned into a fumble 7 right before the half.
When the defense knows what's coming ahead of time.
Exactly.
And we saw that last season. So
it's time.
Be
He's
creative.
Gotta make the
right.
adjustments.
This is
which that's a good point right there, right? When Mike came in, you're talking about the 70 spot on Denver, hottest offense in the NFL, and it felt like around week 9, teams started figuring it out a little bit. Offense definitely regressed a little bit. They weren't as hot. Those are the adjustments that defenses are going to make. There's not enough film of Mike with Tua and all that early in the season. Since that point, the offense has definitely struggled. Obviously, Tua injury played a factor last year. How do you envision the Dolphins offense running this year, knowing that, they might send cover 3 over the top every single time?
I mean, and that's the counter move that I think they purposely have not shown or did not show in the preseason. And you know that those wrinkles are there. And I think it starts with just finding different ways to get the ball in Tyreek Hill's hands. I would like to see him move around a little bit more. And you're going to see Devon Achane split out a lot more, I think, as a receiver.
100%.
And now with Ollie Gordon, I think, has flashed a little bit. And
one of my favorite picks.
And then
he's shifty, man.
I mean, guy won the Doak Walker Award. Somehow was available after a bad year.
Steal, bro.
Steal. I said it right when it happened. I'm like, dude, we're getting this guy in the 6th round. Like, this is. I mean, he was one of the Heisman favorites last year, going into the season. What one bad season did to him, I mean, it's fell right into our laps.
And then you've got Jaylen Wright. Remember, a team traded up to get him a couple years ago. So Mike McDaniel has his pieces. It's just how are you going to maneuver them? And we're not going to see the full iteration of everything in the first 5 weeks. It's going to be a build because you want to save some stuff for the end of the season that you haven't shown. It's like, I would equate it to some pitchers during the regular season. Well, they're purposely throw a pitch and give a guy a hit in the regular season so that they set him up for the playoffs so they can punch him out. So Mike McDaniel, I think it's the long term. And But then again, if you have a slow start, then it's you're throwing everything in the kitchen sink. And I think that's where it's going to get really interesting, where Chris Grier's been the GM for 10 years. And depending on how this thing starts, on the moves that you make ahead of the trade deadline, you're going to know if he feels like his job is safe or not. And
Truth.
That's going to be a pivot point of the season, because at this point, you have everything that you can sell. You have the lifestyle, you have the practice facility, you have the no state taxes, from everything outside of football. It's all here. Jalen Ramsey kind of saying the opposite. He's like, that was a big reason in me coming. And now I'm going to the Steelers because I want to win, feeling that there was not a championship team here, which there wasn't. They missed the playoffs. But there's a game against the Steelers late in the season. I think that's going to be interesting to see where both of the teams are at. And it's going to be an interesting ride. But it's like there's all of this optimism, but there's all of these what ifs, and it's just a question of like, can they actually answer these questions? Because if they do, there's a possibility. But are they actually going to do it?
Yeah. Which is why my predictions as of a season is like we're either going 6-11 or whatever it is, and 12-5. Like there's no in between for me. There's no in between. But that's just like the volatility with this team. Like you really, you know what the potential is, but you know where the holes are, and that's my struggle with this team. But kind of going back to your point with like the front seven, I don't think we've talked about them enough today. Like it's got to be one of the best in the NFL. And is it enough though with the questions in the secondary, right? Obviously you got Minka in that trade, and I think that definitely elevates that secondary a bit. But you lost Cater in the preseason, which was your number one corner going into the year. But is the front seven enough to kind of, I don't want to say mask, because I don't want to take anything away from guys like Storm Duck and guys that, are going to step up, because they've shown flashes that they can be good. But is it enough at the end of the day?
I mean, that's the big question. And the real question is what's Jalen Phillips going to look like?
Right. Yeah.
What's Bradley Chubb going to look like coming off a major injury? I think you know what you're going to get from Zach Sealer.
Right.
Grant was a phenomenal pick, it seems like.
Yes.
Perfect fit.
Jordan Phillips, too.
Jordan Phillips has flashed in the preseason. I think that he could be a rotational guy.
Yeah.
You add Matthew Judon late.
That was a huge pickup today.
You hope that he can be back in Pro Bowl form. But essentially, you're trying to get to the quarterback. And if the quarterback doesn't have enough time to throw the ball deep, your cornerbacks can be a little bit weaker.
Exactly.
But I mean, we've seen this defense a couple years back when Xavier Howard was healthy and Jalen Ramsey was on the other side. Their weakness was in the middle of the field with the linebackers. So I think your linebacking core, Brooks was a first-round pick. He was kind of a different guy, a little bit different from the team, and they had talked about that. But now it's like full buy-in from him.
Oh, yeah.
You bring Dodson back.
Gay looks really good, too.
Looks really good as well. I mean, you have pieces. You hope that Channing Tindall could have been something. It seems like he's kind of lost, third-round pick out of Georgia now. But, you have a very solid front seven. And bend but don't break, they say. But, I mean, you want to put the opposing quarterback on his back. And
hey, look at the conference, right? If you want to contend in the playoffs, right? Like this team is obviously trying to contend in the playoffs. It's Lamar, it's Mahomes, and it's Josh Allen and Burrow, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the biggest piece of that front seven is to me, is Chop Robinson. His ceiling is so high. We saw that he was a finalist for Defensive Rookie of the Year. If he can play well, eventually somebody's going to have to get double teamed.
Yeah. Exactly.
And that should free it up.
Yeah.
And if you're willing, you bring in Anthony Weaver with these exotic blitz packages, you can do that. And remember, like, I think something to kind of watch, which I'm excited about. Minkah Fitzpatrick does not have a sack his entire career. At some point,
they're sending him in.
I want to see in his entire career. Wow. I want to see him on a safety blitz at some point. I want to see it happen.
I love that.
And I hope it's early enough. It's not going to be a sack. It's going to be a pick six because he's going to jump the flat. And
there we go. And McClendon's a guy that's really flashed in the preseason. So you're hoping for some depth. But again, if you get that pass rush going and you make a team one-dimensional on offense, I mean, that's how you win games.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Flipping back to the offensive side of it, because I was going to ask you this earlier because you mentioned Tyreek, and Tyreek's name obviously doesn't leave the headlines ever. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. I actually think that Tyreek, maybe not to the level that he was 3 years ago, where he was literally the best player in the world, in my opinion, but I do expect Tyreek to take a big step from last year. And a lot of it obviously is playing into the different ways that we're going to have to scheme him and get the ball in his hands because of the way the defenses are playing us now. Do you think that Tyreek can get back to that level? And then two, if we are in a spot that like we're not where we want to be, is he's got to be like the first name that we are going to be sending out, like reaching out to people for, essentially.
He's in the trade rumors right now.
He is, but I don't think we're getting rid of him yet.
Tyreek Hill's 31 years old. We just saw this man run a 100-meter in what?
Yes.
Yeah.
10.1 seconds.
Yeah. He's fine.
I think the coolest thing with Tyreek this year is that he's really been more open.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for fans to kind of get to know Darren Waller and his story and just how open he is. And there's this, I'll call it balance of mental health and being happy and content in your life off of the football field, and then being able to perform on the football field.
Right.
For Tyreek, he's always separated the two. And now I feel like this offseason, there's been a mental shift with him with some of his offseason stuff where he's now fully dedicated to football, but he can kind of merge those two people together. Instead, it was like worrying about all the branding, this and that. Now it's like, I'm here, I'm focusing on football, and, have a much stronger sense of who I am and what I want to be.
Right.
I mean, I can tell you that, that a lot of people spoke to him this offseason. But I mean, Tyreek's, very going to do what he wants to do.
Absolutely.
But I really think missing the playoffs crushed him. I think you've heard him apologize, say all the right things, where we heard during training camp that he was hanging out with Tua a lot, playing dominoes on that road trip or cards, or, they were always together. So, he's doing all of the right things. And then you talk about, last year, how it started off with being detained. He had the knee situation, he had the wrist surgery.
It feels so long ago, and that was literally just the kickoff of last year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like, that's crazy.
But I mean, he has a lot to prove, and I think he's kind of one of those players, like kind of like a Jimmy Butler, where like if you give this man any extra motivation, like
he's gonna eat.
Yeah,
he's gonna eat.
Yeah,
and I think that Tyreek right now has that mindset, and I would say that Jaylen Waddle has that mindset right now as well.
Going very under the radar.
Because
so under the radar.
Yeah, he knows that he struggled last season, and they paid him. I mean, and he could be a wide receiver one. He was a top 10 pick.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, Dolphins fans, you make the trade. Like, you could have had Jamar Chase if you want to go back and forth and play that game, but you turned it into 2 picks. You got Jalen Phillips. He's been dealing with injuries, but now it's time for those guys to really showcase what they can do. And if Tua runs this offense so much better than anyone else, it's so unique to him.
Yeah.
And that timing with Waddle and Tyreek, if it's there, I mean,
it's hard to beat that.
Pick your poison.
Yeah.
And especially with Achane healthy, and then if you can somehow get some performance out of Darren Waller, which we don't really know what that will be, you have a lot of options.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the whole point, score more points than the other team. So if you're worried about your cornerbacks,
No.
if you're putting up 35 points,
Exactly.
you put up 35 points a game, I think you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
As long as you're not
with
the Bengals defense last year.
That's also true. That's actually that's the counterpoint.
Exactly.
Well, we'll see what happens with Hendrickson,
Yeah.
as we're shooting this, we'll see if he sits out
Yeah,
or if he gets a deal done. I mean, that's a big piece.
Yeah.
You got to trust Weaver at the end of the day. He did a great job with that defense last year, even with all the injuries that were in play, and being able to bring him back, right? Because the other thing with this defense over the last 4 years, we've had a different defensive coordinator.
Yeah,
So these guys were learning a new defense every year. This is the first time in a while where we're running it back with the same system. These guys know it. They have a whole 2 training camps now under their belt with essentially better personnel in certain positions, right? Like some of your key guys coming back. Should be a powerful defense in certain areas, especially now these guys know Weaver's system way better than any other system they've known in the last 4 or 5 years.
Hopefully. Like, that's like, it's the biggest. Again, it all comes to the depth, but I'm with you. I mean, I expect big things from Weaver. I mean, Weaver was getting head coach, potentially like
Saints
hirings like the Saints.
But you can't really build off of. You got a new OC and a new DC every single year.
Yeah.
New head coach, new this, new that. It's hard to really build momentum.
Yeah.
The fact that we're actually running it back with the same DC 2 years in a row, that's pretty big. We haven't done that in a hot minute.
Yeah, continuity is key. And, Mike McDaniel has the pieces. You bring in the new special teams coordinator. We knew that was an area of need.
Which in preseason, it looks night and day so far.
It looks so great.
Yeah.
Danny Crossman's out. You have some new blood in. There's some new rules here with the special teams. So I'm curious to see how that plays out during the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
But I sound like a coach. All 3 phases, whatever.
Well, that was the narrative of last season.
But I mean, we saw
we couldn't play complementary football all last year.
Right. I mean, you go back 2 years ago to that Titans game when the season basically imploded.
Dude, don't.
Where,
Don't go to that game.
Andrew Van Ginkel gets hurt because a player on special teams, and that was just.
Yeah.
But I mean, it can make a difference. We've seen how one play can flip a game, and that's a part that, I hope that we can have to our advantage on this Dolphins team this year, because I guarantee you that a special teams play at some point in the season will either be a win or a loss.
Yeah.
No.
And with the new special teams rule, I feel like it's in our favor with,
Hopefully,
with the speed that we have.
Hopefully.
And a lot of options back there right now.
Yeah. Outside of the Fins right now, we'll take a minute break from the Fins. Are there any teams, let's stick to AFC for now, that are not the, Ravens, Bills, Chiefs, right? The guys that you expect to be there. Are there any that should be on people's radar that might not be, that you think that can make some noise in the AFC, and then maybe who we have to watch out for?
Top of the list would be the Texans.
Texans?
I think that, you're an upstart team. You made the playoffs last year. You've got a really solid young core. If their safety can be healthy and play the entire season, he could be lights out. There's just a lot of pieces down there that I think could be special. We're shooting this ahead of the Jaguars coming to town.
Yeah.
I mean, that team was looking like they were going to make the playoffs and fell off. And Travis Hunter looks like he could be a generational player. I think there's a lot of excitement for him.
Sure.
I don't necessarily think that they have enough, but really the Texans, especially with that division, and I mean, we're going to see a little bit of it week 1 in India. I think that's a game that the Dolphins have to win. As we're doing this, we don't know who the quarterback's going to be.
Idea.
Anthony Richardson struggled.
No
we know what Daniel Jones has been. Taylor's been phenomenal, but you're going in there. Jim Irsay passed away, the team's owner. It's going to be a hyped building week 1.
True.
But to me, that's a game you have to win. It's indoors. Field's going to fly. There's great lighting inside Lucas Oil, so you can throw the deep ball. But yeah, to me, the Texans would stand out. And that would, I would say that I'd put them, they should win that division. If they can get a home game, I think you could find themselves, out of that wild card round and playing into that second game of the playoffs.
Yeah. Our guy Luke's gonna like our social guy Luke.
He's a big Texans fan.
He's gonna clip that.
He's like, what? You guys talking
about the one clip is gonna be clip the Texans clip.
I already know we're gonna get a text in the group chat and it's just gonna say, "Let's fucking go."
Damn right.
Yeah. Oh,
I swear, if we lose that Colts game, Dolphins Twitter is gonna lose their shit.
Yeah,
it's gonna be bad.
They might lose their shit if we win that game. Who knows? They're so
they
volatile. I'm a part of it.
I
love the community, but holy cow, we are crazy.
Something weird may happen where they may lose that game and then all of a sudden go to Buffalo on Thursday Night Football and win for the first time there in almost 10 years.
Yeah.
All right. Give a percentage of the Dolphins not just beating Buffalo, winning the AFC East. You want me to go first?
Sure.
98%. We're doing it this year.
Okay. I love it.
I've turned from the start of this podcast to where we are now. We're winning the AFC East. 98%.
I'm not going to lie. I do feel better about the Dolphins after this pod.
Yeah.
We're doing it again. We're doing it again. We're talking ourselves into it. And
right. I mean, look, anybody can get hurt at any time.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, we've seen that with Tua.
True.
Yeah.
Not that you're, wishing that anybody gets hurt.
Of course not. I hate that.
I mean, the Bills are a different team. We've seen it with Matt Milano would be an example. He's a game changer when he was healthy on that team.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you lose a main piece, everything could change. So I will say, I really think that the Dolphins are behind the Bills. I think that they should be better.
Realistically, I agree with you.
Than the Jets and the Patriots. So I'm going to give them a 30% chance.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, I like that.
Realistically.
I like those odds.
And I mean, look, the Bills have been there.
The Bills are the Bills. Yeah, they've been. You can't knock them.
But again, we talked about it. If the Dolphins answer the questions that they've spent the entire offseason addressing,
100%.
There's no question about it.
It's just a question of will they actually answer those questions? And the way that the players are talking, there's a different feel. Even a few weeks back after that joint practice against the Lions, they got a taste of it. It was a perfect time. Everyone was making a big deal.
Yes,
huge deal. Oh my God.
Yeah, we're talking about practice
in
August
against
whatever.
No.
But that's a good opportunity to kind of get hit in the mouth early. And can you grow from it? Can you grow from these mistakes? And it's going to be a fun team to cover. Regardless of how the season goes, I hope it goes great. If it goes good, bad, it's going to be a fun season.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, the butterflies. It's going to be churning. And hopefully the Canes win a few games too. I think they'll be just fine.
That's where we're going to stop. We're going to cut that. We're going to cut that. He meant to say Panthers. Actually, he meant to say the Panthers.
We can talk about the
Panthers. All right.
Hey, I love Willie. You've got Keon back.
Yeah.
You've got some good players. Named preseason Conference USA, and it's just a question of it's just tough when you're in a conference like that. You need money.
Yeah.
And when the players do really well with the portal in this day and age, you're gone.
Yeah.
But it's can you bring in the right transfers, and can that team come together? There's a lot that can be done there. It's just it's going to take some time. But I think Willie's a really, really good fit. I loved Mike McIntyre. I covered him when he took the job at Colorado. So we go back a long time, but it's just the game has changed now in college football.
Yeah.
And I think the move getting Willie to come here was phenomenal. And I really hope the Panthers do well this year.
No, now our clip is going to be half Texans, half FIU Panthers.
I mean, now
I hope you know that.
We'll shout out T.Y. Hilton going to the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
My guy Donovan Campbell's going to MC that Hall of Fame class. So we're going to take the moment to plug everybody.
Yes.
But let's go.
Yeah, and the other Panthers, if they three-peat.
Oh,
man. Oh, my God.
Oh, man. We're ready for it. The fact that they brought everyone back was crazy.
People are hating on Miami as a sports town, and I don't understand this because you've got all the teams we're talking about. You add Messi in the mix. You had the Marlins, who are realistically in the wild card race. They were in the playoffs a couple years ago. You have every major sport. I understand, it's not New York. You got a bunch of transplants, international, where you've got the World Cup here next year.
Yeah.
This is a sports city. It's just
it is.
People just got to watch the show and find out. Come join the family.
I was going to say, you got to witness it to see what it really is all about.
Yeah.
It is a different type of breed out here for fans.
I was seeing, because they've been doing, I don't know if you've seen this new trend. I guess there's some robot that tells you your fandom level, like in terms of misery, and you can put.
I did that the other day.
Dolphins got to be a high.
Yeah, the Dolphins are very high, but Miami as a city, we're very good. We're because obviously the Panthers, the Heat's success in the last.
We're not very good though.
We were pretty good. It was
what did you get in the rating?
I got a pretty good rating. I got the Dolphins were the highest by far. We were in the top 10 worst, most miserable franchises the last 25 years. But then you got the Panthers. We just two-peated.
Yeah.
The Heat have won 3 championships in the last 2 years.
Did you do the last 20 years or the last?
I did 20. I think I did 20.
Oh, okay, because I did last 20 and we were 60.
No, I think you did something wrong. You must have.
Did you put the Marlins in there too?
Yeah, I put the Marlins in there. The Marlins won a World Series.
I know.
We're good. We're good.
No, we're good.
Honestly,
the
only one I've yet to witness is this. The only one I've yet to witness is a Dolphins playoff.
The Dolphins weigh that score down for sure.
They do.
In the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're hyped up for FIU season, but before we kind of wrap this up, we got to do our Rushmore of Miami athletes.
Let's do it.
Just give us your top 4 all-time Miami guys.
You got to start with Dan Marino.
Yep.
You're going with Dwayne Wade.
Mm-hmm.
We counting Messi. We counting him as
Messi should not be anywhere near this Mount Rushmore.
As Miami,
he should not be anywhere near the Mount Rushmore.
As athletes to play in Miami, he's arguably the best soccer player there. So if we're counting Messi for the entirety, not his Inter Miami career, we can put an asterisk next to that one.
I'm going to put the biggest asterisk on that.
Then I think you can kind of go a few different ways from there. But those are definitely your 2.
Yeah.
I think by the end of it, at the end of his career, I think Sasha Barkov
that's
should be on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Matthew Tkachuk should be the mayor of the Mount Rushmore for party purposes only.
Yes.
You could throw so many golf, tennis. There's a lot there. It's hard to argue with Zach Taylor that's standing behind you.
100%.
Underrated.
He was on mine.
Jason Taylor, honorable mention.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm really gonna have to think about that fourth one. Shaq's, was here for a little bit.
If you're gonna put Messi on it, you could. That same argument could apply to LeBron too.
LeBron could be.
LeBron could be on it.
LeBron's definitely not on mine. Even though those were great years of Miami Heat basketball.
I feel like we're missing someone. I feel like.
Let me think. So we got obviously Wade for the Heat. If we had to go one by team, it's Wade, it's Marino. Some people make the argument that it's not a player, but they would just say Shula. They would
Yeah,
put
I was gonna
Shula
ask.
Sure.
Yeah.
they'd put him
Okay.
there. If we're going Panthers, I'm with you. I would have gone Barkov as well. Like Barkov for me is like he's approaching that level if he's not there already. I'm trying to think of if we go Marlins.
Beckett,
Pudge.
you can go Beckett, Pudge, Lowell.
Miguel Cabrera is probably the best one. He was only here like a little bit, but
D-Train.
D-Train's awesome. But like, is that like Mount Rushmore level? Like,
Of course.
I'm trying. No, like I'm thinking like
Beckett won a World Series, so I think Beckett could be on there.
Yeah, but like so did like Miguel Cabrera is also
Conine could be on there.
I'll fight for Mike Lowell because that's
Mike Lowell, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I wouldn't put him on my Mount Rushmore.
It's a
But
disgrace.
yeah, he's wearing that.
it's,
But shout out to the Marlins. Go make the playoffs. But like, yeah,
there you go.
There you go.
Rep for the fish.
There you go.
Yeah. I would actually just and my personal one, Zach Thomas is on there. Like Zach Thomas for me I would probably end up having 2 Dolphins on it. And then if I had to take one Dolphin off, I would put T.Y. Hilton.
I was surprised he wasn't on there.
Well, I know, but
Yeah.
Yeah, the personal.
yeah.
He's a Hall of Famer now at FIU, baby.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well, there's also there's Kane's. Like if you go the college route, you've got like the Ray Lewises and like
True.
the,
Ed Reed.
Ed Reed, I think sticks out as.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to talk about a community Mount Rushmore, Udonis Haslam for what he's done for the city.
100%.
I think his name could be up there.
Damn, we got a lot of
There's-
legends.
Legendary sports city. Like we are a legendary Mount
a lot of
Rushmore sports
legends.
cities. Real quick.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I feel like we got to be on there,
Chicago's
right?
got to be one.
Yeah.
Boston's got to be
Boston,
one.
Philly,
Shit.
Dallas, LA.
Boston's definitely got to be one.
I think Miami above Philly though.
Not from a fan base perspective or
No,
like legends that
yes,
have played there.
But I'm saying like in terms of like,
winning history.
the Heat. I take the Heat over the 76ers. The
Yeah,
Eagles.
but you got like the Dr. JJs.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
we need some parameters.
Yeah,
for
yeah,
this.
yeah.
All right, fine.
We
There's
need
a lot-
some
there's a lot of bias.
parameters.
The first one's Boston. I hate Boston so much. but
Boston's in there.
Boston, New York. You also got to look at LA with the Lakers and Dodgers. Like, damn, Mount Rushmore sports cities is probably.
we need to do a little bit of planning. We need to do an episode just on the Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
But yeah, Dan Marino, Dwayne Wade, obviously there, and then I think it's up to interpretation. So
Yeah, I'm with you. Those two it's 1A, 1B for sure. Like those two, I would be shocked if there's anybody that doesn't have those 2 players on the Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
No.
Mine's Wade, Chucky.
Oh, Chucky on it. I love that.
I love Chuck. Chuck's just a man, and what he's just done for the sake of our city.
change the
Us too.
entire
I love him too.
organization.
Yeah, I love Chuck, but
Bobby could be up there too,
Barkov,
but
man,
Bark,
what a
yeah,
Barky
100%.
man.
But I'm just a Chucky guy.
yeah.
So I'm gonna go Wade, Chucky, Beckett, Shula.
Oh, over Marino. We were just talking about how Marino's got to be on everyone. You're the one guy that's not on.
Did do
Nope.
it for you.
Didn't win a
He
Super Bowl.
didn't win.
Didn't win a Super Bowl.
It's the goat right here.
Didn't win a Super Bowl. And
You
then
know,
Tua.
it's the
Tua
Panther
Tua the
connection.
fifth
Yeah.
member.
Yeah.
Tua the fifth member of the Mount
Yeah.
Rushmore.
That'd be amazing.
After he wins the Super Bowl this year.
If we win the Super Bowl this year, first off,
They win in 10 games.
Yeah, let's get into score.
okay,
let's get into record
let's go. All
predictions.
right. I think they're winning 10 games. I think we're winning 11 games actually. Yeah, I'm going with 11-6. That's my score, my record predictor. And I'll tell you what, some of the losses are going to shock you. If I went through the schedule, you would be like, listen, I've got the Ravens. Honestly, I said 17-0 the other day, but it's the Ravens. The Ravens. I think we're going to sneak one. Like one of the Bills games, we're going to win. That's my prediction.
All right, I like a split against
I
the
think
Bills.
we're
I'll take
splitting the
that.
Bills. I think we're actually going to beat the. There's been so much hype around the Pats this offseason. Like, and I get it. They've definitely improved. I love the
100%.
Vrabel signing, but like, I don't know. I'm not like that scared of the Pats.
Tom Brady's not there anymore. You're not worried?
like that exactly.
And Tua's undefeated against them.
Exactly.
True.
Exactly. I have some like weird. I feel like we're gonna lose a game that we should absolutely
always
win.
one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's gonna happen with every team, though.
You know. But I'm gonna go 11 wins. That's my bet here.
If we stay healthy in all the right places, we're a 12-win team.
Love that.
Okay.
All the pressure on you.
one of those guys goes down and we're a 6-win team.
Yes. I mean, that's, I think optimistically 10-7. I think realistically 7-10.
All right.
That's fair. I think. I really hope it's not 7-10.
I hope that I'm wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
I hope that this team makes the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I hope that they win a playoff game. I mean, the roster's there to do it.
Yeah.
It's just,
I agree.
what are you going to do at the trade deadline? How healthy are you going to be? And what younger player is going to shine that we haven't seen that we're not expecting to?
And honestly, week 1 is like
a win.
It's got to be a win.
It has to be a win.
And the AFC game, like, set the tone early.
Yeah. It's like we mentioned, like it's like that first 7-game stretch, whatever we can do there, I think will dictate the rest. Because it's the second half is 10 times harder.
Very
than the first
similar
half,
situation as last season too.
Yeah.
With like that 7-game stretch that looked very winnable on paper. But
so we'll see.
Right. Well, that about does it for today's pod.
Yep.
Appreciate you for coming
Yeah,
on.
look, man, I just want to hang out.
I could go for another hour at least.
Yeah.
But we appreciate it, and you're always welcome back on the pod, so we'll make it happen again.
Yes.
Right before hockey season, we'll get into some hockey talk.
We got to get a player down here.
Yeah. That'd be epic. We got to make that happen. Big C's, big fan
Okay.
of the show. So we're
Big
talking.
C's,
We're talking about getting Big C's on
Oh, he
the
would be
pod.
great at this.
Yeah. And getting him down here before season starts. So that'll be a nice kickoff too.
He'd be giving it to his boys.
Oh yeah, he's a legend.
You know he's
Busy
going
boy.
at it.
He's a legend. He's a legend. But appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you for coming on, and we'll see you on the next one.